about luxury and brand building, then what is it that makes a brand luxurious? It has to have some history, highest quality of craftsmanship, and memories and stories to tell. And that's what actually connects us to different brands. And with 3003 BC, these are the three guiding principles for us. And then we started thinking about, well, how do we then name a company? We looked and did all sorts of research, and then we found the oldest known memory or recorded perfumes was the Mesopotamian civilization. They were the most advanced civilization between the year 3000 and 130 BC. So in order to honor that history, the memory, and the video that we said, the emotions, we thought 3003 BC was a fantastic name, and we hope that you like it too. Then, so as we said, it is one of a kind of brand, and we are introducing two different services, so to speak. One is for the individuals, and one is for the corporate brands, right? The individuals, there'll be three pillars, and we're starting with the bespoke service to roll out very soon, or immediately. Then the customization and personality-led choices. So let me touch upon bespoke. I'll touch upon it in a greater details in the next slide. The customization will be a base of fragrances where you would have an opportunity to alter the base. It's a bit like having your vanilla ice cream and you're adding your chocolate sauce and your nuts and other thing on the top, to give an analogy. And the personality-led choices, and we're working behind the scene on a system that where we want to understand who you are as a person, and then we can try and recommend some fragrances which hopefully should match your personality. And for brands, what we have figured out that the sensorial journey, it needs a new dimension. The time has come, fragrance is the new dimension for that. And to create that brand identity, we have a set of services where we would like to work very closely with the brands and take them through the journey of how we can help them grow their business and create that unique brand identity through the sense of smell. Right, the bespoke journey, and this is probably one of the important questions probably all of you might be having in your heads. So how does that work then? Right, okay, you've just told me that you're going to be introducing a bespoke service, then how does that work? Very simple, 4 steps. Brief, John will touch about on that later on and how the brief is done. So we would talk to you and understand what exactly are you wanting to create in your fragrance. What is the mood, the persona, anything that you want to capture in your fragrance. Then creation. The creation actually happens in UK with John. And we will then create some samples and we will ship them over to you. And then we will allow them for you to experience and live with it for a while. And that's where the selection process comes. So typically you will get about 3 different samples. You live with them for a while, and then you choose the one you like. And if you want to make a few more alterations, 1 or 2 alterations on that, then we can cater for that. And finally, that's your bespoke perfume, and that is uniquely yours. And that will not be shared with anyone. And during all these things that are happening is personalization. That is a very key thing. Then we have partnered with some bottle makers, hand-blowing bottle artists, who can design unique bottles for you. And also we have selected a few classic bottles that are used by a French company actually makes this beautiful bottles, and you have a selection of 4 bottles, and you can take those bottles and customize them to your like. And if you want to diamond that, so be it. We can facilitate for that as well. Ben, then the big question is, well, how long does the bespoke journey take? It's not like you come today and say, well, I want a bespoke perfume, and tomorrow it's ready. The typical turnaround time is around 12 to 16 weeks, right? So you give us a brief, and then our perfumer would need the time to understand and create those fragrances for you. Then you live with that, and all this adds up. And during that 3-4 months, the personalization can happen parallel, right? So that's the service. Hello again, John, right? So then now the question is, who's John? John Stephen is one of the top 5 independent perfumers in the UK, and he is a Parfumeur Createur. John, did I say that correctly? I mean, he's been telling me off for the last 2 days. I'm getting there. It's a French pronunciation, but you got to introduce yourself as a Parfumeur Createur, right? And he's also a chartered chemist, right? So he understands the art and the science behind perfumery. 40 years of experience. 5,723 perfumes and counting. He keeps a record, and he is very, very organized. And I have been to his workplace and his lab. Oh my God, there is not even a single dust speck anywhere. And it is beautifully smelling as well, John's office. And that's actually his desk where he is doing some perfume smelling. And 6+ million bottles sold over his career so far. BeSpoke clients in 11+ different countries, Europe, Americas, Middle East, Russia, and counting, and also including the royal family. One we can definitely name is the British royal family, and a few other royal families around the world which we can't name because of confidentiality reasons. But that is John. Now, we are really, really excited, and we're really looking forward to the journey, and we hope that India as a world will definitely support us in this journey. Now, I would like to hand it over to John to talk about the sensory journey and the perfumes, etc. John, to you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Very pleased to be here. My first visit to India. It's been a very interesting time so far. Are we on? Yeah. Yes, yes, very interesting experience this is going to be. I suppose as perfumers we are quite a rare breed. There aren't too many of us around. In fact, in the UK there's more people who walked on the moon than are independent perfumers. We've got 2 in this room actually, which is very, very rare. We've got someone from perfumer from Firmenish, and that's a pretty high concentration as compared to normal. Who makes perfume? Well, when you go into your local department store and you see all those names, Estee Lauder and Yves Saint Laurent and so on, none of those people actually make perfume. They're all the marketing companies. They have large budgets to persuade you to buy their fragrances. On average, to launch a major fragrance today, you're talking about £40 million on average, and up. If you go back 3 or 4 years, Avon launched their new image. They set aside £260 million for their advertising and marketing campaign. Thought to be the biggest budget ever. And then you've got a seriously big company, one of the few that's consistently profitable. They know what they're doing and they wouldn't spend a penny unless they thought they were going to get it back. But falling off, is it?
Yeah, it's falling off. Sorry guys.
But they, of course, cater for the mass market.
Too high. Sorry, John. Apologies. Get it down, maybe.
They're going to cater for the mass market, so. Not the bespoke or the niche market. We've always concentrated on the niche market because the mass market is dominated by the perfume manufacturers. The perfume manufacturers are not the people you would expect because their names don't appear on the packaging. There's been so many different takeovers in the industry. We're now left with bigger and bigger companies, and we're left now today with what we call the Big Five. And you probably won't have heard of them unless you're in the industry. Anyone here heard of Takasado? Anyone heard of Simrise? Anyone heard of Firmenish? Anyone heard of Givaudan or IFF? Well, that's what we call the Big Five, and between those, they will account for 80% of all the fragrances you've ever worn or ever used in any product. So the niche market is quite different. It specialises in different sorts of fragrances. Fragrances that people don't want to smell the same as everybody else walking down the street. And this tends to happen in the more sophisticated markets. When you have a new market, like in China, for example, people tend to just want brand names. They want the Gucci's and the Chanel's and the Pradas. Fairly soon, though, as the market gets more sophisticated, people look for something different. And that's when the niche market blossoms. And in Europe, it's becoming very, very big. It's threatening a lot of the big brand name fragrances. In the Middle East, it's big, and in Russia, and in India, it's going very big as well. Considering the growth that you've got here, which is absolutely spectacular, people are going to be looking for their own fragrances very, very soon. So things are going to change and fast. It's quite an exciting area, really. How do we make perfume? Well, we start with a perfume brief. And the perfume brief, I'm sure you've heard of, but it does involve talking to people. And there is a problem talking to people because you've got to use words. And many people have different words for smells because they're not used to describing odours. One of the first things we do on our courses is to start on vocabulary, just so that people understand the words that you use in perfume, so we're talking the same language. I've got an example here of something that we can hand around to try. What I'm going to do, you can have a go at this yourself. On your table, you're going to find what we call odour profile charts. Looks a bit like a dartboard. And around the outside are a number of different adjectives that you would use to describe odours.